Video game bang, video game bang, video game bang. Video game. Mega brand. Live from the sack, it's the livest. In fact, I'm putting rhymes on this track to put my guys on the map. Cause they giving you the latest on everything on your playlist. This bet the safest, from basements to greatness. Updates, geek news, tech talk, and reviews. They can summarize it so you ain't gotta breeze through. Listen once and you're forever fans. And I'm not saying it because their theme song features Mega Ram. Might think you fly, but ain't nice as my guys. Got eyes on the prize, so like and subscribe. We back in the booth. I think that they gon' eat this up. The ultimate source of all geek media. Other podcasts, they just don't match up. Need proof? You can check the archives and catch up. Stats off the chain, we have rearranged the game. It'll never be the same. Now it's time to feel the
bang. What is up, my pizzas? Cory, Vincent here, video game bang, and it is the holiday season. Whoop-dee-doo, whoop-dee-da. Don't forget
the laziest
to
of the Christmas songs.
Hang up your socks. What's going on?
Not to laugh.
Oh man, it just feels good. I know it's been a shitty year, but man, we're in Christmas season. It's like we're in the end game now. So we're just gonna smile and have some fun and get through the end of the year. We got Cyberpunk coming up. We got the video game Esports awards, whatever. We got all the sorts of good stuff to look forward to. We got eggnog, Mandalorian. We got so much to be thankful for, gamers, and we're gonna be talking about it all and much, much more on this week's episode. Joining us as always up there, top right corner, you got that birthday glow. She got that new headset. She got that Christmas tree behind her. What's going on, Lexie?
I'm trying not to laugh because you're making me laugh. Yeah, this is birthday month. Woo! I'm so excited.
Oh, man.
And it's Christmas. It's just the whole holiday. Like, I'm just in love with this season. So
yeah, you're so full of cheer
up.
and joy, just like the other 11 months, that it seems like the world catches up with you this month. And talk about that very, very slick jacket you're wearing right there. Who makes that? And maybe we could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so this is actually from a place called Insert Coin, and they make really cool geek and gaming culture type items. And if you can, I don't know if they can see the back.
Ooh, is that the tunnel snakes? Is that a tunnel snake jacket?
Yeah.
Oh, tunnel snakes rule.
So if you guys like this jacket, you might have a chance to win one.
What?
By going to our Twitter page, and I'll let Cory tell you the deets.
Yeah, so Lexie, being the amazing networking social butterfly, she already brought us a Butterfinger sponsorship, and now she brought us a new partnership with these guys at Insert Coin. They make like really awesome streetwear stuff. It's not like your typical clothing. It's like high-end like bomber jackets and stuff, and they look really, really cool, and they are going to be
quality.
Yeah, they're very, very nice. And we're doing a giveaway on our Twitter, as she said. You go there, you click the link, you follow us on social media, you do a few things like that. Bada bing, bada boom, hang up your socks, and then you're in the giveaway. That's it. So if you want to enter, and then to make it even sweeter, VGB is going to pitch in, and we're going to throw in a copy of Cyberpunk. So for whatever console you want, you can win that, and then we will send that to you as well. So it's a lot of, you should do it. You should do it. Help out. Support the VGB in this season of giving. And also joining us on the show this week, you can see him right there, his beautiful face. He's becoming quite the regular, back by popular demand. Kyle the Winner, what's up, man?
Hello. I'm. It's exciting. It's always weird because I'm at the weird part where I'm like not quite every time, but like oftentimes. And I'm like, I'm not a guest, but I'm not a host. I'm in this weird limbo between, and it's a weird space. But I'm gonna own this space.
I'm
gonna build a house here, a roof, and live in the ether between. That's where my life is.
It's purgatory. You're in video game bang purgatory, and we love it. And then you can't see him this week, so if you really want to look, you're gonna have to go to his social media, his Twitter, and just go through all of his photos. But he is a traveling man. He's on the road doing this live from his car. Skipintosh, Curtis Fisher, how you doing, man?
Man, I breaking the law apparently.
Well, we should state you're on the side of the road. He's not like doing 100 down the freeway on the show, right?
Bumping some guar, yelling at the governor. No, I'm just kidding. On a serious note, some unfortunate things that happened in the family, and I'm actually out of town for a funeral, but hey, even with these circumstances, I didn't want to miss the show. Got to do happy things to keep yourself positive. At a better place that I could be, and it's me and Lexie's birthday month, so I can only be so down right now.
A double dose of birthdays in December. Oh boy, so let's just get into it because there's a lot of notes, guys. There's a lot of stuff that happened. We took a week off, a little mental health rain check day. We wanted to prepare for Lexie, myself, and the real David Webb. Spent a lot of time on Discord planning this giveaway that we got for everybody. But I wanted to start off by talking about the Mandalorian because there's an issue in the Mandalorian community, and we need to figure it out right here on this show. This is where we're going to solve it. Basically, there is a war between the people who are, I'm just going to call them babies. I'm going to call them little sissy who keep saying like, oh, I'm going to wait until the entire series comes out and then binge it. And then you have the real fans, probably the ones with higher IQs, probably a lot better looking, who watch it as they come out. And this season has been good, like beyond good. Kyle, you are wearing a shirt right now. Go ahead, show it. Like, if you're watching us live on twitch.tv, that's how good it is. Kyle, the winner, had to go buy a shirt. What are some of the things, without like heavy spoilers, what's made it so like enjoyable?
All right, so it's the first like good, I think, in recent years, like Star Wars thing. Like the recent trilogy was kind of up and down, and there's a lot of people who are not feeling great about it and the way it went and all that stuff. Like pretty overwhelmingly, everyone agrees that it's a good show. It's like you can tell that instead of wanting to like make just like we have Star Wars, let's like make a Star Wars inspired thing. Like no, they went back and were like, let's get inspired by the things that inspired Star Wars. So like old Westerns and old samurai films. And they made that. And like the premise is a pretty like well done premise of like a particular type of like samurai or Western films. And so you get like that good kind of nostalgic almost vibe, despite it's so different.
Yeah. Season 1 introduced the Baby Yoda, which of course was like a phenomena. And even myself, I was like, okay, Baby Yoda's going to get played out, man. Where are they going to take this thing? This season has been freaking phenomenal. Like it's up there with like Game of Thrones in its prime, as far as I'm concerned. Like this show is
100%.
And it's like, how are they going to make this episode better than the last one? And then they find a way to do it. I was telling the guys before the show, I was at a Target, wearing my mask as, responsible adult. And I saw this dude wearing a Baby Yoda t-shirt, and there was like a little Baby Yoda tchotchke thing on the aisle. And his wife was like, hey babe, look at the Baby Yoda. And I was like, hey, did you guys watch the last episode? And then we just geeked out over it for like 5 to 10 minutes with a total stranger. The first time I've done that since the plague. That's how this show is. Kyle brought up a good thing. It's like how Tiger King brought us all together at one point, like Mandalorian is. But like starting what we were talking about, the people who are like talking about, I want to wait for the whole thing comes out and binge it. I'm seeing so much complaining on Twitter and Facebook and everywhere else about, so we're just doing spoilers now for this show. Yes, we are. It's been decided. This show is so good.
I mean, like everybody's watching it. Like it's so good. Like, so for somebody to say that, I'm just like, that's stupid. Like, just watch the show. Like, why are you waiting for everything to come out? It doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, even if you wait like 2 weeks or 3 weeks apart and then watch all three, I don't care. Like, you're gonna see spoilers because it's like an ongoing, fast-paced show. Like, it's like Twitter.
Lexie's dog will not stop talking about it.
Lexie's dog really loves Mandalorian. I think they're actually they're the bingers, and they're like, no, actually, Lexie, stop talking. Lexie, no, we want to be able to watch it at once. We want to be able to binge it in a week.
Yeah.
You could do both. I did both. I literally did watched it when it came out, and then my wife wanted to get into it. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna binge it in 2 days. Watched all 16 episodes or 11 episodes or however many are out right now. Just watched them all again in 2 days. You can do both. Have your cake and eat it too.
I mean, it's so good that you could, like, if you haven't seen it, watch the whole first season and then like binge up until right now and be caught up and be fine. Because I mean, it's just stupid to me why people are mad about that. I'm like, they were gonna make hashtags, they were gonna make like all this marketing around it, and everybody's in quarantine. So you expect to like go somewhere, come back, and then like still not see a spoiler, like all the marketing for Christmas too. Sorry, my dog is
really excited.
Like every time I read one of those posts, it's just so selfish. Just what are you doing with yourself? Like, if you're not going to watch a binge, that's fine. I was joking a little bit. You're probably fairly good looking. Your IQ is probably reasonable. Like I'm not that mean. I'm sure you're a decent human being. But at the end of the day, like you're making a choice to let this thing come out and binge it, but it's the wrong choice because so much insane stuff is happening each week. And if you're going to try and deny everybody from talking from it, it's not even like we could gather, and talk about it at our Star Wars churches right now. Like California is shut down. All we have is Twitter. All we have, they announced, we'll do you guys a favor. If you are one of the people who are talking about like, I was going to binge it, and you listened to this and saw the light and aren't going to do that anymore, we'll give you a week. Next week, if we talk about Mandalorian, we're going full spoilers from that point forward. But just like to tell you some of the things, like there's character appearances from the movies that you wouldn't probably expect, from other parts of the canon and lore that they're name dropping. They gave Baby Yoda a name. Like, this is not something you can just easily keep on the download. This is an incredible season, incredible TV show. Please watch it.
Important characters, like very important characters to the show and from other places, being played by notable people as well.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't like follow, I mean, like, do you expect the person who was in the episode last week to like just not tweet anything ever?
I did not.
Like, they're pretty stoked to be playing the person, and they're like, yo, I've been sitting on this thing for months and months, and I'm like, it was a dream come true, and they're like posting because they're so excited about it, and you're just gonna be like, no, stop.
Yeah,
I'm not done with it yet. Like,
that Adam Driver.
What else is there to do?
That Adam Driver tweet about him popping the head off of the Baby Yoda was, a little bit of a spoiler, but you watch it for yourself and you'll see how it made total sense in context. Anyway, moving on to stuff that's really happening in the world.
Angrily.
Yeah. Black Friday spending was down. It's been kind of a year for buying shit. And unfortunately, Black Friday, the day where we're all supposed to buy shit on the same day, didn't really work out. We were setting records all year long, but the Black Friday numbers were pretty disappointing. Digital spending was down 10% year over year. Speculation says that this may be due to the current market constraint on consoles. Those who are waiting for next-gen systems who would normally be buying games on Black Friday were waiting until they upgrade their systems. COVID has been a significant impact on game sales all year. And if you want to read more about this, Rebecca Valentine did a great article on gamesindustry.biz. But speculation time for VGB. Skip, why would you imagine Black Friday sales would go down when the entire year we've seen sales go up?
Because jobs are going down, so there's a large group, and then people's benefits, that was keeping them afloat. Last time I checked, which I've been checking weekly, still doesn't look like it's been decided when there might be some additional support for us all coming. So I think people are holding on to their cash a little bit tighter this time around. In the light of that, so that's probably my biggest hunch. Of course, next to the fact that even stores that were open, because a lot of small businesses and whatnot have taken a hit. The larger stores and whatnot that were open, were open to a certain capacity and whatnot. So I think just taking into account the condition that the world is in right now, and especially if we're talking about the states, I believe it's that 10%, we can really look at the people that are having a hard time, financially.
That's a good theory. I buy that. I think it's got to be. It's not one thing, right? Because 10% is a significant amount. Like they call it Black Friday because all these companies are supposedly losing money in the red, and then this one magical miracle day of commercialism pops up, and they're all of a sudden all profitable. So that definitely a lot of people losing their jobs right now. It's tough on these streets. Did anybody on the call or anybody here actually like really dig deep into the Black Friday deals themselves?
No,
I did for a Christmas tree. So basically, I was like, I need a Christmas tree, so I'm gonna get a Christmas tree,
Yeah.
And so it was all over my email about like Michaels and Hobby Lobby like type sales. So that's where I found a Christmas tree.
Well, it worked out for somebody.
But that's the only thing I really got from Black Friday. Like it's like you said, like throughout the year we've been spending. Like there's been sales throughout the year. I feel like there's been more sales this year than any other year. Like just because everybody's at home and they're like, there's like a random day sale. Just buy 3, get 1 free. Like I feel like that's been the marketing all year, and everyone knows that's the way it's been. And so now it's just like, and then Black Friday. First of all, Black Friday wasn't just Friday; it was the whole week. It was like it started like a week ahead or something like that. So I don't know if they're counting that, because I feel like people were buying like during that time. It was just like the whole week of it. It isn't like just the day now.
Kyle, the winner, says speculation says that due to the current market constraint on consoles, those who are wanting to buy next. So in this article, it's very like console focused. It thinks that that's where a large percentage. Do you agree with that? Do you think it has to do with the console backup that we've been talking about the last few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I think there also something needs to be said about like how the environment of it has changed. Like you're not gonna all stack up on top of a bunch of other people, wait outside of a Best Buy or a Target or Walmart or whatever on a Thursday night or Friday morning at 3 a.m. or whatever. Like you're not gonna be doing that anymore. So that part has changed as well. But I do think that like the not having consoles available is one of the things, but like I also don't know if it also could be due to the fact that like ideally or like hopefully not everyone's having all of their other Christmases or whatever. Like I normally will do like 3 or 4 Christmases and drive all over the state basically, because I have my family, wife's family, extended family on my side, wife's extended. It's just like a huge, like I'm seeing 40 people that you have to buy gifts for or whatever. Now we're doing like maybe just the 2 of us. Maybe I'll see my parents. Like we'll just like cut it way down, and so then you're buying less gifts for other people as well.
Yeah.
And like also I'm also thinking that like a lot of people are like Curtis was saying about like we haven't gotten a whole lot of money our way. Like some people are probably thriving. Like some people are doing okay because you're not going out and spending as much, but like a lot of people are making not as much as they had the past year or whatever. So
yeah,
that I would understand that if people are like kind of playing their cards close to their chest and like let's kind of not go all out because it's such a weird year.
Yeah, I wasn't even tempted to look at deals or anything. I don't know why. I do feel like the rest of the year has been pretty, decent, but I'm burnt out on the way the COVID like thing goes anyways. Everything's always sold out all the time forever. Like all the GPUs that came out, all the CPUs from AMD you can't get your hands on. Like
just gone.
The thing is that there's so many people out there that are better at online shopping and hunting and getting deals that it makes it no fun or no challenge. Like when there's a store, it feels like, you can be the bigger loser, I guess, and, wait a little bit longer. You can set up your tent 3 days early. But for like how things go now and everything's online and everyone knows where to find the deals better.
Just set up a botnet and have them shop for you or whatever.
It's a different game. It's a different game.
Yeah.
Also, this week, we got to learn that Microsoft has acquired Smash.gg. The popular community-driven tournament platform will benefit from additional resources and support as part of the Microsoft Content Services team. The platform also says that for now, things are business as usual. The Smash community, which has endured a lot of hardships lately, which we've talked about on the show again the last few weeks, can really use the help right now. I know before the show, Kyle said he's not too familiar with Smash GG. I know we got some old hands when it comes to the fighting game community in Lexie and Skip here. I've often frequented Smash GG because it's so good. Like, not even just for Smash. So many tournament organizers run their brackets through there, and it's just a nice source. They have a fully integrated where you can buy merchandise for the tournament through there to help support the prize pools. Like, it's a very, very intricate, well-constructed website. But Skip, what are your thoughts on Microsoft buying Smash.gg? Smash as in Smash Bros, by the way.
Nintendo says, we don't really like you Smashers, and we don't want you making us look foolish. Bye. Xbox comes and says, F you, Nintendo. That's pretty much what it is. I mean, this is a power move. This is a, big phallus energy. You know what I'm saying? That Microsoft is, is laying down basically. And, for them, it's all the wiser. I mean, this is exactly the wise and, slightly spiteful business moves that you do. If you see an extremely passionate section of the video game industry, so hungry that they've, supported themselves, with shoestrings, toothpicks, and chewing gum just to, keep it together and then have grown the base immensely. And you see, a game that has sold, more copies than Street Fighter 2, the highest selling, fighting game of all time. And it's just being neglected, and you got capital. You go, you run, you put on the cape, you save them. You know what I mean? And in turn, there's going to be, an admiration, and I would even say a loyalty that will rival and surprise a lot of people, because, I'm part of it. I've been there, not as much as, not as much recently and lately, for most of us, we could say that, but being a part of the Smash community, I know what it's been through, and I know how neglected it's been, and literally to have, the company threaten to sue you and send multiple cease and desist multiple times, to have someone, someone of their caliber and their might come and say, you guys are valuable and you guys are hungry and we want to try to support you. We don't own the license to the game, but some of that money that was supposedly needed to be put up, maybe we'll be the mysterious benefactor, or not so mysterious benefactor, and we'll see what moves we can make with you. So and I'm not a Microsoft person. I'm not an Xbox person. I'm not against them, but the product and the design and the whole spirit of it just doesn't speak to me. But they've won my interest, and they've won a bit of my support from this, and that is going to echo through the Smash community in ways I don't think a lot of people realize is going to ripple.
So we have one of the most brilliant marketing and minds on the show, Lexie. You're here week in and week out. It's your specialty. Now, you are Microsoft. You bought a very successful grassroots style website that hosts tournaments called Smash.gg that is based off of Super Smash Brothers. Nintendo, who you have nothing to do with, do you attempt a rebrand, or do you just keep it Smash.gg?
I feel like they might do a rebrand just because, as from the Nintendo perspective, like the community perspective, everyone probably might want that or need that right now. Let's do away with the old branding, come in with something new, fresh, and keep all the old aspects of the community. So I could see them maybe rebranding because of that, just to have a fresh look and feel.
Yeah.
And so it's more positive light instead of the negative light that they had before. But I also could see them keeping it, tweaking it a bit to meet how they want their standards, if that makes sense. So I could see either way. If I were them, I would maybe do a rebrand just because it was given all that negativity, just to have the positive light of the new, whatever the new branding is or whatever. But who am I to say?
Yeah,
I can only say so much.
It would be very Microsoft of them to come through and completely rebrand it, but we'll see. I don't think it'll be make or break too much, but yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. More on this story later. Next story we have is for the Fortnite kiddies. So I know Kyle gets really excited when we talk about Fortnite. It's back again.
That's my game, dog.
It shattered records. Your game is doing things.
Crushing it, man.
The Galactus event, which concluded Fortnite's current Marvel-themed season, had recorded 15.3 million concurrent players. That's more than the 12 million players that watched the Travis Scott live concert back in April. And the numbers for streaming and YouTube has just broken all sorts of records and shattered everything. And then not only that, there's been new leaks, new announcements that Kratos and Master Chief are coming to Fortnite. So what can't Fortnite do at this point? They have, within the last 2 years, made the most compelling hodgepodge mix of characters from across everything that we love and know, including the Mandalorian. They have Mandalorian and Baby Yoda in the game as of the last few weeks. So what are your thoughts on your favorite game and the success that it's been having, Kyle?
So like I played about an hour of Fortnite
Every day?
Right when it came out, and I didn't like it. But one of the things I will always give credit to is how well they managed to like stay on the pulse of the community and like to maintain being culturally relevant long after, like, I mean, how long has Fortnite been? It's been like 3 years, if not more, that it's been like a big notable game that has stayed at the top of the charts. And it's not I don't know, it's just it's a very different thing. Like PUBG is dead and gone at this point, and it kind of they know how to pull in other IPs that people love and know, and how to like find ways to do new and weird things, like the Travis Scott concert. Like that was weird and different, but like it worked.
Yeah, their marketing has been top notch from the beginning. Like even from throwing like random glyphs and items from the game off into the world, and kind of going viral that way. They've always like just done stuff.
Yeah, they had like the black hole thing that people were like losing their mind over. Like every season that they do a thing, it's like trending all over the internet because it's so out there and like new and trend setting. So I will always give them credit for that. It's just not a game I enjoy playing, but like the way that they're marketing it and the way that they are thinking outside the box and are like driving the industry forward through new and different ideas, because they have the money to like, well, no one's done it before. I don't care. I want to do it. And they do it. And like, that's what is nice that they're doing, that they're kind of like establishing. You don't need to have only your own, intellectual property within your own game. Like you can pull stuff from other places, like having from other companies too. And like having something from PlayStation or I guess Santa Monica Studio, and then having something from Microsoft. Like that's like bridging between two otherwise competing companies almost. I think it's super interesting.
I used to I still work for Energy Esports, but I've been there for 4 years. And the first year we were unknowns relatively. Like we were the Shaq org. We had a Counter-Strike team. We didn't do very well in League of Legends. We had a championship Smite team, but Smite wasn't like the largest esport at the time. So we were in we occupied a weird space where we weren't that popular. That was 4 years ago. And I would do reports for social media and stuff. And this year has been our largest year by a lot. Millions and millions of views on Twitch and YouTube. And it's grown to a juggernaut that we never expected it to. All that to say, I did a report this year that was like a comparison of how far we've come. And a lot of the stuff we do now is based off of Fortnite influencers. It's really kind of like shaped the NRG brand, not necessarily like SF Shock or Chicago Optic or, so just the NRG side is what I'm talking about. It went nuts at that time. And when I was putting in the report, I was like, you could see this big spike here in about 2017. That's when Fortnite came out. And it was just crazy that it's only been 3 years. Like, it seems like we were so naive. There's almost like, BC and AD in modern times. It feels like it's
BF
like,
and
yeah. It's like before Fortnite and after Fortnite. It feels like a different world in the gaming space, and a lot of it's due to that game's just insane success. And then when you see it, it's only been 3 years. Imagine what it's going to be in 10, like when Minecraft is today.
Yeah, like that.
The
That
best
is like
thing that Fortnite did was. Oh, sorry.
No,
Go
please.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, the best thing that I remember Fortnite doing is like when they literally, like, I went to their Twitter and was blacked out for their next season before, like, I guess the current seasons or whatever, and they literally like erased all their tweets and like did the whole thing, but it was on their Twitter account, which was crazy, and everybody was like, what's Fortnite doing? Are they rebranding? Are they And I mean, it had only been out like a year at that point, and I was just like, that's genius. Like, now everybody is looking at you, like all eyeballs on you. And then the other thing was kind of like the Travis Scott concert was the Marshmello concert. That was the first one that was huge in game. And I was just like, I love Marshmello, but then I haven't really played Fortnite. So when they said that, I was like, wait, I have to see what this is about, so just tying in like everything from music to game, like just putting it all together. It's insane what they do with their branding.
And like it's specifically with like having events that happen, and like I think a lot of games have started taking on that like idea of like, okay, well, we first started doing like battle passes. I'm pretty sure they were one of the first people to do like a battle pass-esque thing. Now everyone is doing it.
Yeah.
And I think they're also starting to like push the boundary with like having in-game events, not just like Overwatch doing like the Christmas thing where like, hey, look, King's Row's all wintry now. It's like, no, like if y'all get to come, there's a live thing that's happening that you have to be here for, because after tonight it's gone forever and you need to be part of this thing.
Yeah.
Or else you get the huge FOMO of like, oh, I missed the Travis Scott concert or whatever. Like, that's such a like, everyone feels invested in on this thing now. Everyone feels like if they didn't, they just missed out on the biggest thing, and now they're have-nots at this point, and everyone wants to be a have.
Yeah.
And so like it's just like and they're like keeping up with it and keeping up and keeping new ideas in, and with the Marvel thing was interesting. Like it's just
the whole bringing concerts thing was crazy, because then you started seeing other games attempt it too. Like Roblox had Lil Nas X on it. Like it just, who would have thought?
so funny.
I remember when I heard that, I had to see. I did not believe that was real. I thought it was a meme.
He
Next,
has more than one song.
yeah,
He has at
man.
least 2 that I've heard. I've heard 2.
Panini and Old Town
the
Road.
Panini
Man.
one.
Yeah,
Yep.
the
That's
deep
a short
cuts.
concert.
Yeah.
While we're talking about forced like music into other mediums, I watched the movie Last Christmas last night. Have you guys heard of that one or seen that one?
It sounds familiar.
Wait, is this an old school movie
No.
or is this a new school movie on like Netflix or something?
It's a new school movie. It was on HBO Max, I think. It's that one where Khaleesi is like a singer or something, and it's all based on George Michael songs.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
That's it. That's it. I just wanted to say it exists. So
Okay, I mean, hey, that's
You know-
totally fine.
You're like, go check that out.
no, don't. Don't. I'd actually advise against it. It was awful.
Isn't that good? Man, Faith and Father Figure go hammy. It wasn't good.
Did you watch it?
That sucks. No.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I didn't watch
So it's a movie. Like it's a movie. Like it's like 2 hours or something. And George Michaels has like 30 minutes worth of good music, in my opinion, my humble personal opinion. Last Christmas,
but that's one of the best 30 minutes of music, man. Ooh.
they had to start getting into his.
Wham done besides Wake Me Up and then the Last Christmas song. What, like, that's
What else?
it's
did they
like
need to do? They're
Mamma
beautiful.
Mia but of Lil Nas X. Like, what are you
Oh, wow.
Nah,
Oh,
see,
wow.
you're looking at it the wrong way. Take Wham out of the equation. George Michael was the white prince. Done. Drop the mic. He's Gucci. He's goated. We're good.
I don't.
White Prince of
Didn't he get caught in like a bathroom doing some shady stuff though? I don't know if Prince ever.
Just like Prince would. Coming down from on high.
I will
That's all I gotta
say-
I
I
have
will
spoken.
say that Selena came out. If y'all like Selena, and I haven't seen that,
Right.
but it's on my wish list on Netflix.
There's
And
a
it's so funny because
It came out like today or yesterday.
There's a scene
based on the singer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Salinas with an S. So there's a scene in Last Christmas where the two are having like a romantic moment and they're singing together, and they both know all the lyrics to some random like obscure George Michael song. And it's like they're singing like it's a common knowledge of a song. And at that point, I was like, in the movie, that's your soulmate. Like, if you two both know the lyrics to that one George Michael song, you're meant for each other. But
For sure.
Yeah. If you like George Michael or Amelia Clark, go watch it.
You talked me into it.
Yeah. Cool. I expect a full review. We're going to talk about this next week.
You got it.
Pokimane caps her Twitch donations at $5. And this is actually kind of a trend. This happened, I believe, probably the last few weeks. This is a little bit older story, but we never caught up. And it's kind of been making waves through the rest of the community. So Pokimane worked with Streamlabs to set a custom max donation amount to only $5. And her quote basically was, "I consider anything more than $5 unnecessary," which, you know, is pretty crazy. I've never known a rich person who was not trying to get richer. So it was pretty interesting to see her enable that to her stream. And then other people started taking that and running with it. Dr. Lupo announced that starting, you know, whenever it was, that he was going to be permanently giving all of his donations to St. Jude's. And then PewDiePie ended up just canceling donations altogether, saying that it's kind of weird. He just had some epiphany and didn't want to do it anymore. And then finally, Disguised Toast, he decided to remove donations and bits altogether from his channel. And his quote was good. He said, "I always feel bad when I end the stream and realize I didn't acknowledge someone because of donations, because I got too focused on the game. Give your money to charity or a small streamer instead, since I'm rich already." Woohoo! So what do you think of all of these people putting caps and getting rid of donations in general, Lexie?
I feel like I get like them donating and stuff like that. I'm all about that. I'm all about pro bono. I'm all about like supporting stuff. But I feel like the small streamers and stuff are gonna get like, I don't know, they're gonna feel like scared to even put that tip jar or whatever on their stream, because then they'll feel like the pressure from other people. They'll, even though they're a smaller streamer, I feel like they'll be scared to put it on there because they think like, oh no, people are gonna judge me, or they're gonna make me like make me feel bad or look bad because I didn't like donate, kind of thing. Which won't necessarily be the case, because you could still donate money. You don't know what that person does, you know. But I feel like it's gonna be that unbalanced type situation for a little bit, because now you have these up and coming streamers who need the money to survive, right? To live off of, literally. They're not Pokimane, they're not Ninja, they're not those people who are well stable enough, have enough sponsorships to do this. Like, all my money can go to this charity. So it's like one of those, I don't know what to say really about it, other than I feel like some of the smaller streamers would be scared or not as comfortable asking.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, I think one of the benefits, too, is, like, once you get to be a certain level of streamer, it legit would take, like, half of your stream time to just read donations.
Yeah.
Like, I remember there was a certain point when, like, streamers who I've watched have, like, grown and, like, you know, become really, really big. There's a certain point where you're like, okay, they just stopped reading donations at a certain point. Like, you'll have it on screen, but, like, you cannot, like, read all of them. And I think with Pokimane especially, I would imagine that there is... Like, I know people will donate, like, huge sums of money and then, like, would be able to, like, use that as, like, well, you should talk to me more or whatever because I've donated so much money to you. And so, like, that, now she can avoid having to deal with, like, people just being weird and, like, donating $3,000. Like, that's probably not, like, a good amount of money to spend on a streamer saying thank you for your content. Like, there's a number, like, that's acceptable of, like, you're doing something that entertains me and I'm saying thank you with money. Like, there's a certain level that, like, is anything beyond, you know, a Twitch sub or whatever. Like, then you're getting to this weird, like, quid pro quo, like, I donated so much money, why don't you follow me on Twitter? Why don't we go on a date? Like, people just be weird about it. And so just avoid that and avoid having to be weird about it. And
I didn't even really think about the whole like defense system, how it could have those benefits too. Skip, I mean, there's different methods people took here. Some people donating it to charity, some limited it to 5, some just got rid of it altogether. Who do you think got it right?
Who got it right? Yeah, I don't per se think that there's a right and wrong answer to it. I do appreciate the most motivations behind it, but I will reference the one of my favorite memes in a long time. Hoes mad right now. Me mean. Simps mad. They can't send enough money to get noticed anymore. It's got to be tough.
Yeah.
You know?
Simping ain't easy, man.
Simping ain't easy, man. Yeah, so it's rough. It's tough. I mean, but again, the intentions, completely make sense. So many people, almost compulsively, I should say, giving and giving and giving, and we hear about the stories like, oh, this guy dropped this, and this lady dropped that, and these people dropped this amount of money and everything, and we have free will, and we can choose to do that, but also there are those people out there that I believe do it in a way that ultimately isn't healthy for themselves. So in a way, I do appreciate the fact that it's kind of saving people for themselves. But I mean, I like the whole concept of give it to a smaller streamer, ones that need it and everything. That's very admirable, and I do appreciate it. It's going to be interesting to see where we go from here, and how it proceeds and how it continues, and also when some of these. There's this KRS-One song. Shout out to KRS-One, and I know you as a Sublime fan have a special appreciation, Cory, for KRS-One as well.
Yeah.
But there's a song by KRS-One that it's called "Outta Here," and essentially in the chorus he's saying, "Do you ever think about when you're out of here?" Basically like when after you've hit your peak and you start to go back down. I'm really interested to see that once some of these people start to head out of here, if they take that cap off and whatnot. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Yes, sir. So moving on to the next story. This is going to be, we're going to go a few places with this one because Cyberpunk, the game that's been delayed time and time again, no more delays. They're ready. They've already spotted discs out there in the wild. This game is finally about to release, but there's a little bit of conflict going on. First of all, let's just talk about the release schedule, Lexie. So what's it looking like? I'm hearing people might get this game early.
Yeah, so apparently there's different times that you can unlock, or that Cyberpunk will unlock. So, for example, on December 9th at 4 p.m. Pacific time and 7 p.m. Eastern time is when it will unlock for us. And then on December 10th at 12 a.m. GMT time, and then 8 a.m. CST time, and 11 a.m. AEDT time, and it will unlock for those people. So there's different times that will unlock for different people. I know some people will probably be upset because they're like, oh, this person's playing. But I'm like, it's the time zone difference. Like when they put out this game, they set their standard time, right? They're like, the embargo goes out at, let's just say 8 a.m. That's when we want it to go out. But then they have to distribute it for their different time zones. So y'all don't be mad when, if y'all not playing it before somebody else.
It bums me out that I can't VPN to New Zealand and play it early, but it's also good that everyone plays it at the same time, so there's not a bunch of New Zealanders tweeting out about how they have the game first, and here's the first big spoiler, and then pissing off a bunch of Americans because we get it so much later or whatever.
Looks like if you...
But also...
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well. You can go.
No, I insist.
You're gonna say what I was going to say.
No, I think you were going to say... I think I was going to say what you were going to say, so I'll let you do it.
But also, if you use the Xbox mobile app, apparently you can pre-download the game without purchasing them digitally or physically. So when the game is actually released, then you can explore Night City right then and there.
I appreciate that because
that's interesting.
This week I got the PS5. It finally came through, and I was so excited, like a little schoolboy. I opened it up. I set it up. I got it all ready. I was excited. I'm a dad now. I just got a puppy. I'm a puppy dad now too. So like life is a little hectic, but I set aside some time that I could enjoy Miles Morales on the PS5. That didn't get to happen because, there's still no fix for this whole, I can't just plug in the console and play my game anymore. I had to download an update to the system that took like 30, 40 minutes. Then I had to install the game, which took like another hour and a half. I just ended up playing Astro's Game Lounge or whatever that freemium game is on there for like 15 minutes and then being like, all right, cool. Baby's crying. Got to go. So it's really cool that you can at least pre-download. That should always be an option. They should maybe like put the first like part of the game on the disc so you can at least kind of get started or something. Like I gotta get the shape of my penis just right when I'm editing my character. So at least put the character creator
exactly
on the disc.
Dude, I would love if they let you like do character creator stuff for like a couple of days before, because you just have people posting their stupid characters. Like give me just the character download on like the 7th. And let me just spend 2 full days making my character so I can get it perfect. Then by the time the game launches, I don't feel rushed to like get out into the world so I like experience everything before other people do or before it gets spoiled or whatever. So I feel like that's the next big game. I probably shouldn't have said it here because then when I get to go to another game company, I'll bring that idea and use that and be the next big marketing ploy is like create your character for 3 days before the game comes out, and then you post your tweets about, oh, look at my character. He's got cool pink hair and all sorts of stuff.
That's really genius.
No,
like you shouldn't have gave that one away for free. Yoink.
But no,
pull the string.
I think they're already probably doing that because as a social person, like working in games, like we think of those ideas, and I feel like Cyberpunk probably already thought that this is what's going to happen. That's the whole point of this character creation being so massive that you can almost do anything, is that they're going to share this stuff. My only thinking is, are they going to really share every single like thing, or is it going to be certain restrictions on their end? I mean, it is rated M, right? So
yeah, you get to customize your genitalia. This game is rated M. It should be rated X as far as I'm concerned.
No way, yeah.
So I'm just wondering, social media wise, are they going to be sharing everybody's like creations, even the X-rated ones, because there will be those on social, or not? From a business standpoint, you know what I mean?
Side note, one of the cool things that they did do is for our Twitch streamers in the audience there, they made it where you can disable copyright music for your Twitch streams.
That's always good.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool little feature. And then also on that note, OBS, congratulations, man. They came up with this crazy thing in the latest update of OBS streaming software. They made it where there's dual outputs for your audio channel when you're streaming. So you could stream and have that audio feed, and then you could have a separate mix that gets saved to your VOD, meaning you could be streaming with all of your, heathen stealing copyrighted music, but then when it saves to the VOD, it erases all of that for you because you just have the clean feed of the gameplay and the microphone. So where there's a will, there's a way. Gamers are very got some ingenuity. But we can't go full geek out on the Cyberpunk launch as much as I would love to, as much as I'm going to play the game. There's some people out there upset. Charlie Hall from Polygon, for one, wrote a nice little article that kind of step-by-step detailed this entire road we've had from Cyberpunk's announcement pretty much to the first delays, how the main director was coming out and saying like, hey, we're not like the other guys. We don't do crunch. We're going to do things the right way. We're ethical here. And it ended up not being so much. I guess the key paragraph was, let's not sugarcoat it. Crunch is cruel. It's the result of poor management and evidence of a disregard for the people working for making the games we love to play. Crunch at this scale and for this duration casts a shadow over Cyberpunk 2077 and actively undermines some of the progressive and cautionary themes no doubt present in the game itself. And it's true. Like, if you're going to come out as a game director and make all these claims that you're not, going to be doing crunch and it's going to be purely, voluntary, and then later admit on calls that, you know, for select staff the crunch is mandatory, and it's not a good look. What do you think, Kyle, as being a person who's developed games in the past? Do you think that this is a black eye on the Cyberpunk 2077 hype train, or is everyone just going to overlook it and it doesn't really matter?
I mean, my hope is that people don't overlook it, because like I know there will always be people out there who like, I don't care if you have to work for, 24 hours a day. I want my game. I've earned this. Like, no, you have not. Sit down and go reevaluate your priorities. And like, I think that the ends justifying the means is always kind of a sketchy idea with like crunch and stuff like that. I mean, like that was the initial risk when it got pushed back the first 2 times, is like this team was like, okay, well, a couple of weeks, sure, why not? Like, I can do that. I'm dedicated to making this the product. But like, it was pushed back like 6 months, I think, at least.
Yeah.
It was March to December or April to December, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That is a long time to like be in the 11th hour of a game. Just finishing some stuff up. Like, just do this last thing. Like, you're in that mindset, like in this, like, we need to get this completely done. And that's just been like pushed back and pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And so then it kind of just becomes okay. Like, I hope that, I mean, there was rumor of Red Dead was also huge. Like, the team was like crunching for a super long time. Like, there was also fear about Halo Infinite being pushed back, so they're crunching all the time. And it's just like, it's good to see devs talking about how they're like, oh yeah, we're a no crunch studio. You go home at 5 every day, and then like, all right, let's just keep that up then, and like, don't say you're going to do that and then not do it. And so I'm hoping that things like this get more traction, and I'm hoping that we get to start to see more studios who like don't do that at all. Like, we released a game on time and we didn't crunch because we have good producers.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see more of that, and I think that I'm hoping people don't just look past the game immediately. I hope that people I don't care if I have to play this game later. I would much rather, like, if you have to push it back to January so people don't have to stay over weekends or whatever, like, cool. There's other games to play. There's literally thousands and thousands of great things to do in the meantime. Y'all can wait so people get to see their families.
I agree to you to a point. I think the game isn't owed to anybody. However, when you get to that point where you're already taking pre-orders and then you're pushing things on,
Yeah.
at that point, you've given me a promise. You've given me a sacred vow that I will be playing your game sometime in the near future. I mean, I don't do that anyways, and I don't think that's an excuse to send death threats by any means, but
I definitely get that, like, idea of if you're like taking people's money. Like, I feel like at a certain point when you do pre-orders, you should know and be like dedicated to a release date, because then you start like pushing it back, and then like that's why Star Citizen has gotten so much flack, is because they have been like, you could pre-order the game in beta, and it's been in beta for like 8 years, and like at a certain point you're just like, it's just a live update game, and like it's
yeah, just release it at that point. It's already playable. Yeah. Skip, what do you think? Is this detrimental? Why does this happen? I'm sure it's not the devs' fault themselves, right? There's got to be something else at play.
Yeah, I mean, especially in a case like this where it did seem that there was a lot of goodwill towards, avoiding crunch, at almost all costs, putting a huge emphasis on the game having a proper launch, because we have seen the, infinite betas, and as well as, the Avengers type thing where, it wasn't ready. It needed another 6 months of development polish to really deliver the game in a decent state, a playable state, a satisfactory state. It is tough. The reality of the fact is, best laid plans of mice and men, right? You could have all the goodwill, and you can have all of the good intentions, and you can have, some of the best producers and directors and all of that stuff. And bugs are a thing. Unforeseen issues coming along while you're developing the game is a thing. And I do much more lean towards the side of push it off further, to put people's health first, and also to keep the quality of the game when you launch it first. My of course the board doesn't want to hear this, and those are the people that are kicking down the money and ultimately making a lot of decisions for the company. When push comes to shove, my whole thing is what you can push back is the pre-orders.
Yeah.
Don't start collecting money for the game. And of course, something unforeseen can still happen. But I mean, shoot, have that thing in the can and cashed and ready to go, and then start taking your pre-orders, because the people that wanted it 2 months ago, most likely are going to be the people that want it 2 months later, 3 months later. And if you put out a proper game, the word of mouth is going to continue to be the best promotion tool for that game and for that company. So that would be, I am a neophyte, and I am hugely and massively ignorant to what it takes to develop and program and put out a proper product when it comes to games. But with my limited information, and me trying to put humans and health first and whatnot, that would be the best answer that I could give.
I know probably the most hyped person on our crew here is Lexie about this game. Are you able to look past this, put on the peaky blinders, and just enjoy the game, or is part of you a little upset that it went down the way it did for the employees?
From both, I guess, the perspective of like working in games and seeing that side of it, and then knowing what they said, I could see, like, I mean, yeah, I'm hype about the game. I know like mental health matters, I know like your health matters and stuff like that, like, so I mean, I'm on the fence, like, I don't know. I'm always like in the middle. So okay, for the side of the devs, like, yes, devs work hard, but we don't know all the details from like that side at CD Projekt Red. So we don't know if they're getting paid overtime. We don't know if they're getting paid we don't know all of that. We don't know if there was like a cap where they said, hey, we worked this many hours straight, blah, 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 whatever. We don't know their circumstance. So they could have deals that we don't know about, and we're just speculating ourselves. So that's just one half of it, because I know there's certain things that go on and people might have to do that kind of stuff. Then the other side is the company giving them like breaks and stuff on that end as well. And then just from our perspective, like, I mean, I feel like we shouldn't be too upset, but at the same time, like, we don't know, again, what their company has in place for them, So it's just one of those things, like, you can't look into it too deeply, but I would say the issue needs to stay on the table, of course, because you don't want that to happen at another company. You don't want those people to get bogged down and tired because they're trying to create XYZ game,
Yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, I am hyped for Cyberpunk, though.
I think, you got to keep the hype real for this game. Like, and then at one point,
no judgment.
You got to think too, like, of all the work that they finally did, and those people who did put in all the extra hours and stuff, to no one ever play it, kind of be a slap in the face too. One of the things I think kind of plays into it, maybe not so much, like, I'm definitely sympathetic towards time off and getting the stuff you need, but at the same time, greatness has a cost, and this game is set to break all kinds of records, and it is insanely ambitious what they're trying to accomplish. So they put in the extra time, and hopefully they will be rewarded with tons of accolades and future success in the industry, and this game will probably has a good chance of being one that's beloved and lives on for many, many, many years. So hopefully, fingers
I just
crossed.
hope they don't do like a curveball, like, so it could go two ways. They could do some kind of surprise tactic, which most people do in the game, where it's like, oh, you didn't know this was in here, or this thing was going to happen, or this pass, or whatever it is. So there's that way of thinking of it. Yeah. And then there's the negative way of thinking of it, where it's like they try to sell you or upsell you more stuff on the back end, and you have no idea So it could go either way. I just hope it doesn't go like the negative way for them.
They won't. They're already doing so many
now.
great things. Like the whole, I got the PS5, like I said, and I'll say it a few more times by the time the end of the show. I got the PS5, and I was frantically searching for Cyberpunk on the PS5. I was like, this doesn't exist. Why doesn't it exist? And then finally I Google search, what the fuck is going on? Why can't I play Cyberpunk? That's the only reason I want this thing. And then it turns out they're like, hey, if you buy the PS4 through updates completely, free when it's ready, we'll send a big patch and you'll be on the PS5 optimized version of it. Like, they're not going to do this thing where it's going to, I think GTA did it, where if you wanted to buy it across different platforms, there was no upgrade system. So I don't expect that from CD Projekt Red, like some of the shenanigans we've seen from Rockstar.
Yeah, that was an early thing that Rockstar started doing. So I own, I think GTA on 2 or 3 platforms at this point. They have it on 4 or 5 now. They have it on they have it on 360, One, and now Series X and PC. They just have it on every variation. But I have been seeing not only are devs doing if you buy it on one platform, it'll carry it over, but they're also doing things where if you play on an Xbox One, I've saw people talk about. They played Assassin's Creed Valhalla on Xbox One, and then they bought it. Screw it, I want to play it on next gen. I'll buy a PS5, whatever. Their save and all their settings got carried over to the next, to the new console. I think stuff like that is starting to see good things, as well as what CDPR is doing. Of if you buy it on PlayStation, we'll bump you up or whatever. I think that's a good thing. And as far as doing weird monetization stuff after the fact, I think that it's pretty common knowledge where if they did, I'm spending $60 on a game, and if I need to buy anything beyond another 1/3 of the game worth of DLC, I think I will be incredibly pissed. And if they do oh, you can buy this cool jacket only with the CDPR bucks, I hate you.
GTA 5 is all about the heists and stuff, when the game itself was the largest heist in the video game industry. I don't know anybody who's bought that game only once. Everyone's bought it at least 3 or 4 times. It's the Dark Side of the Moon of video games. Dark Side of the Moon is one of the best-selling albums of all time. And you think how is that possible? It's because people bought it on vinyl, then they had to buy it again on tape, and then they bought it again when it was a CD, and then they got the MP3. So through 6 generations of media, Dark Side of the Moon is one of the best-selling albums of all time, and that's the Gears of War model. Or not the Gears of War, GTA 5. I've been playing a lot of Gears of War. Anyway, that's the end of the show, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. It was a fun one. We got a lot covered. We're going to get closer into the holiday season. Speaking of not reading your subs, we can't be guilty of that. So we got to say a big fat thank you to Panatella. I've been reading it all day, and that's the first time I tried to say it out loud, so that's why it came out so bad. Panatella, whatever your name is, thank you so much for the sub. We sent you that Discord link too, so you can come hang out with all the cool cats and kittens. What are you plugging, Kyle the winner?
Nothing really at the moment. I got stuff eventually I'll be able to do. Actually, I guess if, like I said, Fallout 4, if anyone mods Fallout 4, likes playing mods, Sim Settlements 2, bro. I got sound effects that are coming in now.
Coming in hot.
I'm doing a bunch of cool stuff. It's exciting. Lots of big changes on the horizon. It's a fantastic mod. A lot of great people behind it. Stuff like that. And then I'll be able to plug the other thing once I'm done with it in X amount of time as well. So it's exciting.
He's developing for Fortnite, everybody. He's putting in a big crossover. Skip, man, thank you so much for choosing to be with us despite, the family circumstances. The VGB family sends our best to you. You've also been flexing some massive creative muscles on your Twitter. You started picking up coloring, and apparently you're a virtuoso because you went from 0 experience to dropping a really sick piece. What was the story behind that, and is this a sign of things to come?
Story behind it, just being so into the comics. People, that have been around VGB for a while know, oh my gosh, RIP, rest in peace. Oh my gosh, such a beloved segment. The Oblivion,
Curtis Comic Book Corner,
Kurt's Comic Book Corner, and all that stuff. So I'm in the process of writing a graphic novel right now, writing a comic book with a buddy of mine. being around comics, you hear like, you got to do the pencils, and then you got to take the ink and then like make the pencils all black, and then after that you color it, and then you put the letters on it, and then then the graphic design, then you got a comic book, you print it, you put it out. I always heard flats, and I was like, what do colors talk about when they're talking about flats? So I woke up in the middle of the night, couldn't sleep, asked the question. One of my good buddies, Brian Reber, who is an incredible 2K player as well as a dope colorist in the game. Check out a comic called Erratic right now. He did the colors for it, and it's awesome. But he answered what it was. I was like, I don't got Photoshop, but I got Pixelmator. Put the file in there, took apart the flats, got my layers, recolored. Thought, I think Colossus and old Wolverine colors looks pretty cool. Threw it up, and my gosh, like my favorite color is Frank Martin Jr. liked it, and all these other people. So I don't know, man, it's pretty cool. I'm focused on writing right now because we got this graphic novel, which I'll be plugging once we get the crowdfunding going. Really cool concept, so that's what I'll be working on. But who knows? I might do a variant cover for it once we finally get it fully funded, and I might color it. And actually be able to focus on it after January once the script is done. So thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it. Biggest thing I'm plugging right now, Butterfingers and our current giveaway. So enter those two things. That's what's up. That's what I'm plugging right now over everything. Butterfingers, we love you. We know you're watching. You're in the chat right now.
Always watching. So. Butterfingers is always watching us. Lexie, what you got?
I'm just done with Curtis. Kept on his Butterfingers. I did not expect that, and that just made my whole day. Like you just said, I was just like, wait. So I'm still trying to do my Twitch thing. Slowly and surely, guys. But yeah, my Twitch is x_mintyx if you want to follow. Surely I will play some games soon. I've been kind of bogged down with work and everything because the holidays.
Yep.
But also my Twitter is LexieJPR, and please go support Insert Coin where these beautiful jackets are, because you could get a chance to win one. And also make sure to tweet out our giveaway and for a chance to win Cyberpunk.
Yeah. I got nothing to plug but good vibrations. Thanks everybody for listening to the show this week. It's been fun. We got a couple left to the end of the year, and hopefully next week we'll be talking about how incredible Cyberpunk is. Otherwise, we're going to be talking about how bad it is. So I feel like this game is going to go one way or the other. I don't think we're all just going to go, I think it's going to be pretty intense. So stick around. Catch us next week. Thanks for all the new subs and followers happening throughout the show. We appreciate you. We love you. For Skip and Tosh, for Lexie, for Kyle the Winner, my name is Cory, saying you've just been banged.